what about the victim's family now? Because they also have been waiting for a verdict in this case for 17 long years. They also wanted some kind of closure. What about them? Anything coming in from the court or from the judge for victim's family?
Well, I think, victim family would heave a huge sigh of relief at the verdict which has come on, because, this particular case has, as Lieutenant Purohit's family said, that it has virtually ruined them. Sadhvi Pragya, the tag of terror, being a terrorist, was there with Sadhvi Pragya for a very long time. So I guess, nobody can undo the kind of trauma and damage they would have gone through all these years fighting these cases. 17 years is a huge amount of time. But I think, when the special court has acquitted both, it must have come as a huge sigh of relief for both, for all the families, whose loved ones were being treated as accused. One thing is very clear, then we'll have to wait and watch out for the final verdict to come out, the copy of the verdict, because a lot more will be in the detailing of the verdict. But the important points which have come out, Sakshi, and which we are telling this to our viewers on News9, is that the three very, very crucial findings. A, the bike did not belong to Sadhvi Pragya.
Big verdict is finally out. All the accused here have been acquitted. Your thoughts on that?
It was very ironical that only less than 2 weeks back, the then ATS officer who interrogated Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, Parambir Singh, who have subsequently also served as the Thane City and Mumbai City Police Commissioner and got embroiled in infamy of corruption cases against him, got acquitted himself in a case related to corruption in Thane, just less than 2 weeks back. Now, what is to be remembered here is he was the apparently motivated officer who interrogated Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, had employed third-degree methods of torture, as also mental harassment, as was alleged subsequent to when Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur had been enlarged on bail in the case a few years back. So it's ironical that, the two cases against that concerned ATS officer Parambir Singh and the case now at hand where all the accused have been acquitted. So what has to be remembered is, like the advocate just said, there were over 315 witnesses who had to be examined in the case. And what was poignant to note was there was a record number of witnesses turning hostile. I believe it was more in the number of around 38, if I'm not mistaken. I may be incorrect on the exact number of hostile witnesses. And the case for some time had become apparent. And we must remember that it was only 2 days back that the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, on the floor of the Lok Sabha, had, cited the issue of the bogey of Hindu terrorism that had been created under the erstwhile dispensation government led by the Congress. So he had emphasized upon it how Hindu terror was sought to be created. He did not mention the Samjhauta Express case, but that was the other similar case which subsequently got to be withdrawn against the accused, including, the high-ranking RSS minority wing president Indresh Kumar. So we are only seeing a sequel of what's been happening, and like the court has very clearly pointed out, there were the two charge sheets filed by the ATS and the NIA were at variance with each other. Not only that, the ATS has recently come into infamy because the 12 accused it had booked in the serial train bombings of Mumbai City have also been have been acquitted by the Bombay High Court that found them innocent. So somewhere the ATS mechanism, anti-terrorism squad of Maharashtra and Mumbai has certainly come into the limelight for all the wrong reasons, whereas the Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur will feel vindicated today because she had alleged torture from Parambir Singh of the ATS. She had also said that she had been forcibly, being a Sadhvi, forced to watch, pornographic film content by the ATS officer concerned.
Right. Mr. Ibrahim, some big things that you have mentioned here. Another big statement that has come in from the court. Let me just quickly read it out for our viewers. The court has categorically mentioned that terrorism has no color or religion. The court has mentioned it. That's the big line here, that terrorism has no color, no religion. Mr. Rao, let me now come to you. So the verdict is out. A couple of minutes ago, we were just discussing, we were waiting for the big word. Now it's out. Your thoughts on that?
Yes, ma'am. This is great news for the. I must narrate them as the victim of this case because they have faced the ordeal of 17 years long trial and so much blame against them. And as alleged by that the NIA officers has tortured them, misbehaved with them. That is also very sad state of affair. But today, I think they and their family must be feeling happy about it. That in our country, law and judiciary exist, and there are some honest judges who don't fear from any allegations or any adverse effect because they do only as per what as the evidence has come on the record. So I think, and one more question you are asking, I think that your reporter could not understand. What about the victims who are killed in this case? That is also to be seen because victims of this case might have been a victim because of some other persons who could not be traced by NIA. And these innocent people have been booked in this case, maybe because of any reason or maybe political. And I must appreciate
Mr. Rao, my apologies for interrupting you over there. BJP leader Atul Bhatkalkar is joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to News9. The big verdict is out. Your thoughts on that?
We wholeheartedly welcome this decision by the court acquitting all so-called accused and accused. First of all, this basically honored the whole conspiracy hatched by then Congress government to tag Hindu society as a terrorist. The word used by Chidambaram, then Home Minister, saffron terrorism, and that's why this verdict has once again exposed the conspiracy theory and hatred of Congress towards Hindu community.
Absolutely. Also, Mr. Bhatkalkar, if I could ask you about the 17 long years that these accused now who have been acquitted had to wait for just to hear this particular verdict. Also, the tag that they got of, spreading saffron terror. The judge, the court has very categorically mentioned that terrorism has no color or religion. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So my demand is that who has this conspiracy, that should be now investigated. As far as this Malegaon bomb blast case is concerned, first Sharad Pawar raised the issue and he openly, publicly stated that bomb blast took place in masjid. And how can Maharashtra police are arresting Muslim people? And that statement had given clear-cut direction to the police. And then police started arresting these all Hindu people. Then case was taken over by then government's NIA. NIA acquitted earlier Muslim accused and they filed the charge sheet against Sadhvi, Pragya Singh Thakur and all others. And so who has this conspiracy? That should be investigated. Who tried to Malegaon Hindu society for their own political purpose? That should be inquired. That is my demand.
Inquiry will happen, but according to you, sir, who should be pinned down here in this case? Who should be blamed?
See, that time political masters who pressurized. There is one book by that time Home Deputy Secretary Mani regarding all these cases, that how he was pressurized, how Digvijay Singh asked them to color this as a saffron terrorism. So everything is on record. And so that should be investigated now, and then we can decide who actually the brain behind all this conspiracy.
Mr. Bhatkalkar, I also want to ask you a question here that the court has mentioned that 2 lakh will be given to the victim's family. It should be given to their family. 2 lakh rupees, 17 saal ka wait. I mean, what do you think about that?
Court has given its own verdict, and nobody has gone through the details of the verdict. but definitely government will work on that.